Hi, people. Morning away from again as always, and as usual. Yeah, as I said earlier in my video, the occult alignment of the European Union, in relation to the statements I made referring to the US, this is, as you can see and or tell, the same video, but the US this time, the occult alignment of the US. Now, I already have, that you'll see at the end screen, I already have a geolocation chart on the US for those of you that haven't seen it yet. But in this context, in this video, I'm specifically contextually, going to discuss in a summarized fashion what the US is about in a nation based manner rather than focusing on geographic properties or geographical properties and the likes. Like I said in my EU video, the US is ruled by Virgo, and the US has a strong Virgo alignment and or influence. And the remaining influences are the second strongest is Taurus, and then at the end you have a Libra based influence. Long story short, what all of this means is that the US is all about productivity. Again, like I said in the EU video, the US is all about productivity, about manufacturing and whatnot. Any person anywhere in the world, the second you think of manufacturing, you would be insane to not include the US as at least in the top five. Okay, generally speaking, the US is number one. Think of every big company regarding things that you use. Think of Apple, think of Amazon, Walmart, Costco. These are all American or American based companies, regardless of where they were founded, regardless of whether they were actually founded in the US or not. Bottom line is that most HQs of these businesses are located there and or related or similar. Okay, so that's what the US is all about, productivity. When you look into detail, you'll see everything, like so much productivity. Majority of stuff that a lot of people in the world own comes from the US, regardless of whether it was actually made there. But bottom line is that the whole processing and everything takes place in the US for a good chunk, honestly. And the second influence, the Taurus influence, stands for wealth. The US focuses heavily on wealth as well through manufacturing, um, especially for Uranian affairs, and thereby I mean technological affairs. Again, think of all the big tech companies. Where do most of them come from? The US, exactly. All of us. Second, you think about big tech, you think about Silicon Valley in the US. And last but not least, also the majority of artists in the world and or cultural trendsetters, and specifically when it comes to artistic endeavors, come from the US. You can look it up. I already did so. So yeah, that's what it all stands for. For all the exact influences, check the description of this video. Before I go, I need to state that I do not have an astrological orrery chart for this. Instead, I used my astral senses, and in some within a certain context, it is even better than simply casting a chart. Casting a chart is more the conventional way of doing things, as opposed to using my astral senses. My astral senses essentially take it a step further. And that's all, guys. Bye bye.